Hey everyone, this is Dr. Baffa, and today, very special guest commentating on her own lifting, the one and only Kate and I at the AO1. Kate, welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here and talk about my lifting.
We are very excited to have you here to talk about your lifting. So this is the AO1. It was out at the Arnold in Columbus, where you went 3 for 3 in the snatch, 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk, ended up with 109, 136, right?
Yep, that sounds right.
245 total, I'm pretty sure. So, and you like, this was a really nice snatch session, I thought. Anything that stands out to you as you watch just warming up or about your training? Anything you want to share about this as we get into it?
Yeah, that sounds good. It was a great day, so I'm excited to kind of watch over it and see what I thought about it in the moment and what I think about it now. Because I think it was all around just a really solid day, even in the back room. So, yeah.
How did you feel going into the warm-ups?
I was super confident. So I haven't been a 71 kilo weightlifter since 2019 World. So it's been a minute since I had to cut for weightlifting. And this was quite a sizable cut, if we're being honest. Like, yeah, this is where my body likes to sit naturally. But if we're being honest, like, I was getting heavier. So, like, I obviously still had to go through a cut, even if the end product was, comfortable for me. So it was a cut, but I was smart about it. I was able to eat the day of competition with a later weigh-in time. So yeah, I felt really good and just ready to go.
So here's a question regarding body weight then. Do you feel different as a 76 versus a 71 in terms of your positioning and your approach to the snatch, technically?
I don't know if it really like is something I think about like on purpose. Like I don't think about it as I'm lifting. But if you watch me as a 71 and 76, I definitely get deeper into my squat as a 71 and I'm faster. Everyone always talks about how much faster I am when I'm lighter. So yeah, you can see in these warm-ups even the snatches are moving really, really fast. And when I'm a 76, I just tend to move a little slower.
Okay. So you generally look very fast to me, but I got to say that as I was watching here in the back room and in rewatching it, editing it, I was thinking, wow, you are looking incredibly snappy. Are you training for some of this velocity?
No, it's something that happens. And like, all the coaches I've ever had that have like overlooked my training, they've said that like the lighter I am, the faster I am. Even as a 63, not that that was a good weight for many reasons. I was even faster as a 63. I don't know why. So it's just something that happens, and it happens to help me. So I'm not complaining about it, and I felt really good here.
Now, anything that Spencer is saying to you here or the things you guys chat about in the warm-up area?
We keep it very low pressure in the back room. I mean, you were there, obviously. I like to
Yep.
joke around, and I get serious when I need to, but in reality, like I can't get too serious or I'll start overthinking things. So Spencer might give me a couple cues here and there, but he knows his job as a coach for the most part is making sure the environment is pretty chill for me. So, I my thing is like keeping my feet flat for as long as possible. So, in between lifts here, a lot of the time he was just like, keep your feet flat, like you're doing great. Just don't get lazy with that because as it gets heavier, I tend to get really on my toes.
Okay. So here's your 100. This is your last warm-up. I thought this looked fantastic, and we're going to see some slow-mos in a second with the 95 and the 100. Anything that comes to mind as you watch these two lifts?
I was just thinking how good I felt, and I was probably the most confident I've ever been going into an opener after these. Just because I felt so consistent throughout my whole warm-ups. And here, as you're seeing, like that just kind of shows the consistency, which I'm typically not very used to, surprisingly. On comp days, I tend to get super anxious. Not like I'm gonna fail or anything. I'm just like so nervy that my warm ups tend to get a little wonky. Um,
Hmm.
so I felt like a professional, and Spencer actually noted that too. So those 95 and 100 kilogram lifts, like they just felt good, and I felt super ready for this 103 opener here.
This was a great lift, and to your point, the 95 and the 100 in the warm-up did look remarkably similar. The only difference I saw is you were a little faster. The body was a little faster in the 95 just because it's lighter, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to slow down a bit. But my positioning just felt really good and I felt really confident in getting to a nice power position, which is something I typically struggle with.
How'd you feel opening with this 103?
I felt pretty good about it. In all honesty, like I had a bad day like a week before this meet and I missed it once and it really messed with my head because I was having such good training. So, obviously you miss a lift and you're like, oh shoot, like I really hope I don't miss it on the big stage. But I think once I hit that 100 in the back room, 103 I felt very good about and it just felt super easy on the stage. So it was good.
Cool. What about the 106? So here you're coming out second attempt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 106 is getting heavier, especially as a 71 and all that stuff. And I think I was a little bit more nervous for it. So I obviously felt it get heavier and I didn't land in a perfect position. So I had to adjust. But in all honesty, like on the way up, it didn't feel heavy. It was more just like my turnover, I think, wasn't as, nice as I would have liked it to be. I could have committed to it a little bit better. Just on the speed and, being a little bit more aggressive with my footwork. As you see, my foot it went like toe to heel, which
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to get rid of and land more on flat feet. So I have a stronger position there. And I think that's a big reason why I lean back like that is because I went toe to heel when I made that foot contact.
Gotcha. So you were a little unstable. Still
Yeah.
managed to hold on really nicely, and it just took a moment of
Yeah.
settling to stand up.
Yeah, I was confident throughout that whole lift. Like I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna miss this. Like I could muscle it. And I think that's kind of a nice thing about being a stronger lifter. I feel like my
Mm-hmm.
strength is definitely my my advantage. Like some people are crafty, some people have like amazing technique. I think I'm just super strong and I'm able to muscle things that a lot of people probably couldn't. So yeah, I'm not like super great, but it works out.
I mean, you've got strength, but I would say also you've got your technique dialed in very nicely. You're super consistent when you're on, right? Like this day, and you're very fast. And if you have two of those three, you're in a good position. If you have all three, which I think on your best days you absolutely do, like this 109 looks as solid as they get, right?
Yeah. That was my favorite lift of the day just because, since it's obviously the heaviest and it was so on and it was just technically like I was in control the whole time. I really felt like that whole lift I knew exactly where I was. And quite frankly, sometimes like on the competition platform, you're just thinking, I want to make this lift. And it's kind of like a pull and pray situation. But that's what I'm talking about. Like this meet, I felt like a professional. And that's something I typically don't feel. Like I kind of just feel like, well, let's go for it and
So,
hope it all works out. And I'm competitive, so I'm like I have that competitive like killer mindset. But this day was different. I felt like a seasoned athlete, and it was a really nice feeling to feel so confident. So
so
yeah.
it just took you a junior world record, world championship, and an Olympic silver to feel like an accomplished athlete. That's all
Quite
it took.
frankly, yes. And here's me spilling my water because Morgan doesn't know how to fill one up properly.
Well, Kate, thank you so much for chatting. This has been really amazing and insightful.
Thank you.